Hi guys, this is Scribbly again with another pen review, and today I again have a fairly interesting product for you right here in front of me. Before we get started, I want to extend heartfelt thanks to my friends over there at appelboompennen.com in the Netherlands who have provided this pen for review so that I could bring this video to you. Let's get started. What I have in front of me here is the Jacques Herbin Sloop fountain pen. Just a quick context, what is Jacques Herbin? So most of you will perhaps know J. Herbin or J. Herbin. I am not very great at speaking the French language, but anyway, J. Herbin, they are mostly well known for their beautiful inks. Have these really fantastic, cool, old school ink bottles with a pen rest here. That's not so useful, but anyway, very, very nice inks in my opinion. I do have quite a few of those. And then J. Herbin does also make, some stationery such as, I think they make simpler fountain pens and a little bit, lower end rollerball pens that can be filled with ink and so forth, but mostly known for their inks. Really nice stuff. Then some time ago, it must be like a couple of years now by now already, J. Herbin decided to go with a brand or found a brand that is called Jacques Herbin and use this brand to enter, so to speak, the more upper class or higher end stationery and fountain pen market. So then under Jacques Herbin, there comes all kinds of stuff. There's like premium notebooks, accessories, but there is also this range of fountain pens. And the pen that I have right in front of me here is called Sloop. This Sloop is a resin fountain pen with palladium plated accents, so like a resin pen and then metal palladium plated accents. And the pen comes in, I have like the black and palladium version here in front of me, but it comes in a range of colors. It comes with gold accent, it comes with amber resin and so forth. You can check that out. It comes in a very simple box, and I find this box super nice. I do like orange a lot, and I find this orange here is a particularly beautiful one. It has this Jacques Herbin logo on here. It's a boat. The whole J. Herbin, Jacques Herbin line of brand has this seafarer theme going on, says Paris 1670. You open it up with this little loop here, and then inside you have fairly unspectacular, a little cloth pouch here that also says Jacques Herbin, also in orange, very nice, and then some kind of styrofoam in here, and then you had the pen, the cap, and a converter resting in here. So I mean, the packaging is nothing spectacular, especially not for a pen that, and I will get back to that at the end of the video perhaps, that costs about 200 euro on appelboom.com. So yeah, pretty unspectacular for a rather spectacular price, so to speak. But what I do like is, in terms of environment and so forth, there is not a lot of packaging waste going on, obviously. So that's great. Let's have a look at the pen. So the pen overall has a cylindric design, a little bit of a slimmer body. When I say slimmer body, I do mean slim in relation to the cap, because this is by no means a small and thin pen, but in relation to the slightly bulkier cap that tapers down a little bit and is a little bit bulkier in the middle. There's like a little bit of a then slimmer pen body that's also a little bit bulkier here and then tapers towards that end. Other than that, we do have a flat top pen design, such as you know it from perhaps the Sailor Pro Gear or the Aurora Optima. However, the Sailor Pro Gear and the Aurora Optima are much chubbier and shorter pens. So this one here is larger. Overall, I think it's a fairly nice, very classic design. With the black and brushed elements here. It does have some vintage theme going on, so I think that goes very well together, the lacquered and the brushed. So that's that in terms of overall design. This resin, of course, as you can see right here, is a little bit of a fingerprint magnet. It's very glossy, very, very shiny. That's just something to be aware of. It's not good and it's not bad. To me personally, it doesn't disturb me at all. But like, if you don't like that type of stuff, then, that's just something to be aware of. Let's now more systematically cover the pen top to bottom. There's a flat top, as said, brushed finish, very nice. This here, that you see here, is the only branding that's going on in the pen, saying Jacques Herbin, Paris 1670, as we know from before. I think this is very subtle and very, very nice. And then, as said, like a slightly bulkier cap, a clip that is hinged right here, and a center band that does taper down in the same brushed finish. The clip is very functional, very springy, but I already have to point out the first minus of the pen here. At least for me, I find this clip very, very wobbly, and I'm not sure how long this will last. It will not break tomorrow. It will perhaps also not break in 5 years or so, but it does feel flimsy, I must say that. And like when you uncap the pen, and if you don't hold onto the cap very thoroughly in order to uncap the pen, some people, they use the clip to exert some pressure to uncap the pen. Then if you I think you can see that like one is almost scared of breaking it. And also the wobbliness and flimsiness here does have the unfortunate side effect that pen, and I have not had that in use for that long, already got scratched right here under the clip. I think you can see that. Which of course is not super cool if you have a 200 euro pen and then the pen is constructed in a way that, by just from uncapping and moving this thing here around, it already scratched here. So that's something that I don't like at all. Okay, then you have this body right here. I mean, just to go back to that, it's also nothing, right, that you notice right away when you see the pen. I mean, it doesn't hamper with the functionality of the pen, so all good. It's just a detail that I just find highly irritating. But just to get that straight, it won't break your pen, but 200 euro pen, I don't know, that can be done a lot better. As said, cylindric body here, a little bit thicker here, tapering down here, and then we have this brushed end cap here that looks like a turning knob or something like that, but it isn't. Opening the pen, one turn, two turns, about 2.5 turns. Won't make for a very fast note taker. I normally say 1.5 turns. That's sort of a fast note taker. That's what I like. 2.5 turns is a little bit more, but of course it will also make the cap sitting on the pen very, very securely. So it's just something for you to be aware of. The pen itself is pretty lightweight with the resin. I'm not sure if there's some metal inside the cap because the cap itself is rather heavy. So this is more of a lightweight pen. It's not super lightweight, but it is on the lighter side of things. But I think it's a very, very good size. We do a size comparison in a bit. It has a wonderful long section, very, very good to grip. That step down here is noticeable, but it's not sharp at all. And the section is long enough that you would grab the pen down here. So I don't really feel that. We then have a beautiful number 6 size nib. From looking at the nib and feed, I would say that this is a Bock nib. The nib comes in fine and medium. I have a medium right here. It says Jacques Herbin on that imprint, has that boat logo, sailing boat logo on it, and then says again Paris 1617 and then M. I find this nib imprint, sorry, this was me banging against the camera. I find this nib imprint here very, very nice. To be honest, it does remind me a little bit of the Konit nib imprints, which is also this like circular design. I like with the circles. I like it a lot. It's very nice. The pen is super comfortable in my hands, which are on the larger side of things. And I do find the overall aesthetics of the pen, body to nib proportion, very good. We open the pen, and the pen is filled with a standard international ink cartridge or a standard international converter. That in that case came with the pen, which of course for a 200 euro pen, you're happy to get a a converter as well. I believe it's a Schmidt converter. The pen in this case is filled with Kaweco Sunrise Orange, which I find in Sweden right now is autumn, and I find this is a very nice autumny color. The threads here are done very, very well. Good machining. That's all nice. Let's do a quick size comparison to my standard size reference pen, which is, as you know, the Lamy Safari. I think it's fair to say that capped, they are pretty much exactly the same in size and proportion. And if we uncap them, I think it's fair to say that the picture doesn't change very much. The Jacques Herbin Sloop is ever so slightly shorter, maybe 2 or 3 millimeters. The Jacques Herbin is a little bit heavier, and the nib is of course substantially larger. But I think it's fair to say that, you know, if the Lamy Safari is a pen that you like it and works for you, you will also very much get along with this Jacques Herbin pen right here. Let's do a writing sample with this medium bog nib. J. Herbin or Jacques Herbin. Sloop. Fountain pen. Medium. So, the nib writes a nice medium line, a true to the size medium line. I would say, as you can see here, that it has like a slightly stubbish character. The downstrokes are wider than the cross strokes, which I do find very, very nice. The nib is pretty springy. It doesn't give you a whole lot of line variation. However, you can press quite a bit out of that nib. But when you write with it, it does feel super nice and bouncy. Almost writing feeling wise reminds me a little bit of some of the Pilot nibs. However, the Pilot nibs are smoother. This one here is more feedbacky. And I'll get back to that because I had to add some of that feedback. So overall, now, and you already see where that goes, I had to tune that nib. Now that I'm done with that nib, it writes fairly okay. As you can see here, there is still something going on in the cap with perhaps some drying in of the ink and so forth. Because as you can see right here, there were some startup issues. It didn't come on right away. There was a hard start, and also the ink in the beginning is substantially darker. Now I know that sometimes is an issue with like orange and red inks, that they exhibit that behavior, but I have the exact same ink right now in a Pelikan M800, and I can say that I don't see any of that when I write with my Pelikan M800, and the exact same ink, that's the color that I get right away, not that color. So there seems to be something going on that end. And also when I received the pen, it had a severe baby's bottom. When I wanted to write with the pen, basically in 70% of the cases, it just didn't write, right? It was just skipping and it was glossy smooth, but no ink came. So I had to like give this nib a couple of writes across micro mesh in order to get it to write in the first place. Now it writes. It writes quite well on this fairly rough paper. This is a bit of a rougher paper. As soon as I get that pen onto smoother paper, such as the MD paper that I use in my work notebook, it again starts skipping and so forth. I mean, I guess what I'll do to this pen at some point is just rip out this bog nib right here. And I have another pen laying here that I need to review at some point, which has a super nice bog platinum nib in there. Platinum nib is a cool thing, and I'll perhaps just equip that one with the nib just because I'm tired of this nib. I don't know. maybe I'll fiddle with it a little bit. But I mean, there you have it. Overall, that's that with that review. Let's put things into perspective. This is a super nice pen. I like it a lot. The design is great. It's pretty well built overall, but there's like 3 issues that I have with the pen. Number 1 is, again, this flimsy clip here that scratches the cap. Number 2, that this copy that I received right here came and basically didn't write out of the box. If you're a standard user / consumer and you don't know how to fiddle with a nib, then you will have to start, sending the pen back and all that stuff. And then last but not least, the pen costs €200. For €200 for a steel nibbed pen with a standard with a cartridge converter, like no fancy filling system and whatnot, and then also those issues with the nib, and that for a €200 pen, to me that's little bit of a deal breaker, because for €200 you surely already get gold nibbed pens, you get fancier filling systems such as piston fillers and what have you. So hey, yeah, I mean, if you truly fall for the, seafarer theme, if you truly like the vibe of France and French pens, which I personally do a lot, and if you really, really dig that design, hey, go for it. Order the pen from a reputable reseller such as appelboompennen.com. In case you then have any issues with the pen, you can send it back and you surely are in good hands and you will get sorted out. So if you don't mind dropping the €200, hey, go for it. Other than that, you have heard my verdict. Thanks very much to appelboompennen.com in the Netherlands for sending me this beauty here for review. I hope this was somewhat helpful, and I'll see you all at the next review. Ciao, ciao.